there's surely no need for me to speak any more highly about my next guest, who I'm ecstatic to have here in the studio. I know him as Chef Andrés, but you likely know him as the inventor of the grilled cheese. I'd like to welcome him in the studio now. Thank you for being here.
Well, surely, thank you. The pleasure is simply mine.
That being said, please lead us through what was it like when you originally showed the first person the grilled cheese and then you got your first reaction from the public? Because I must say, when I first saw the grilled cheese, I was bewildered.
Well, to start off, I mean, it looks entirely different than untoasted bread or anything other than, pure white or whole wheat.
And tell me about the different kinds of bread that you tried. Did you find one piece of bread worked differently than another piece of bread or tasted better?
Yes, absolutely. At first I was sourdough. I found it to be very, very hard, though. Which, in the experience of a grilled cheese, it should not be the duty of the enjoyer to go through any sort of obstacles of enjoying it.
And what do you say to those who feel jealous that your first invention was the most popular of your inventions? Or do you have other inventions that are lesser known?
Well, in fact, I do have a project I'm working on currently, which is actually a companion to the grilled cheese in the standard sense, in that it's not a solid base. It's actually a pureed tomatoes and of spices, and the grilled cheese actually takes a step back as the platform for enjoying this new product. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what people say about that, and if anybody questions how it ranks among my previous inventions, that's out of my control at this point. I think it's best to look forward, not look back.
And describe what is it like in the room when you come in with this new idea and you bring it to your label and ask them, I'm going to do something new with cheese, and it's going to be grilled.
Well, it's no surprise that the big distributors really are only interested in what makes them profit, what puts their name out there, and as a creator, it's a privilege to be able to push these boundaries and to be in a place like this. So I simply had to take a gamble and say, I need to see this vision through. If you'll be there with me, I think you'll see how it pays off. And so far, I believe I can safely say I have not let them down. They've been very kind to me.
Well, I think it goes without saying that you must be the greatest sandwich maker in the world. Really?
Certainly not. No, it's very flattering. Maybe the best one in the studio.
Okay, well, I can hardly make a macaroni and cheese, let alone a grilled cheese.
Well, we all start somewhere, so...
I'm simply amazed. I'm simply ecstatic to have you here. Please tell me, when I'm making grilled cheese at home, do I want to use the butter before I put the bread? Do I want to put the bread and then put your next invention, tomato soup, on top, or do I want to put it all in at once?
I follow the standard rules, as I call them rules, as we know that rules simply don't exist at times. I start with the grilled cheese. I put the butter in the pan first, and I make sure that the butter does not brown. It'll bubble. And
I'm sorry, you bubble your butter?
Yes, only a bit of foam.
Wow.
And afterwards, on a separate pot, I put the tomato soup in there, and I let let it come to a simmer. Only see a little steam, a little heat. I go by. Other than sound, I use my sense of touch.
Wow.
As I put it above the pot, and I say, "Oh yeah."
Wow.
And after that, I find I take the grilled cheese and I dip it as a whole. If I'm brave enough to hold it right off the pot at the pan. Oftentimes, it's a grilled cheese that if you burn your hand or your tongue or any of your senses, that it's all worth it. It's worth the pain. That all goes away at some point. So.
I have a question that my family told me don't ask you, but I simply cannot keep from asking you. I'm too ecstatic to be speaking with you. How grilled do you grill your own personal grilled cheese?
Oh, it's a great question. It's so subjective, and that's the beauty of how everybody takes it. Personally, I like when it reaches the point on the skillet and you can hear it. There's the bread crosses from being soft and almost making no sound to making a slight, you hear the friction.
So you go by sound?
Yes.
Wow.
Having not being able to see how brown it is on the bottom, it's you almost go into it blind.
Wow.
And I found that it works for me the best.
And please explain to me and the audience, what is the genesis? What is the synthesis? How is your creation coming to be, coming to light from nothing to something in the pan?
Yeah, so it's a great question.
Thank you.
I find that it's having ingredients somewhat in the cupboards, in the drawers, and you often look, you're going to it hungry, and you think, like, on first glance, it's all scraps.
And we've all been there. It's important.
Absolutely. It's just part of the human experience. It's a shared thing, that is, and when it really comes down to it, it pushes your mind to a new place where you say, this isn't nothing. As you connect each piece, and the whole becomes more than the sum of its parts, it's a tremendous feeling of accomplishment, and I encourage everybody to do it, whether it's culinary or you're reorganizing, or if it's simply a metaphor for whatever you like. I highly encourage it.
One thing that for example, my parents, the previous generation, they don't seem to understand. Because they grew up with plain nachos. When I say nachos, what does this mean to you? What do you think?
Only great memories. One of my founding mentors was actually the inventor of nachos.
Tell me about that.
Very strong connection and very, very good memories.
Wow.
And
did he tell you about the invention of nacho cheese?
He did. It was not to compare myself, but it was a very similar process of scarcity of certain ingredients and the ways to procure them or prepare them, and how well it just took off without question. We've certainly come a long way since all these exotic foods, such as nachos, and I find myself thinking of them often.
And what do you think when you see an older couple out to dinner and they're having plain nachos? Do you think far out, get with the times, or do you think that's what they grew up on?
I think a lot of different things. Part of me makes me want to prepare a grilled cheese sandwich and go over there and hand it to them myself.
I think I can speak for everybody when I say we would love if you saw us eating out at a restaurant and you brought us an original grilled cheese from Chef Andrés. We do have a commercial break, but please stick with us. We're going to be talking more about what is going to be going into his upcoming invention. What did you say it is? It's a
tomato soup.
Tomato soup. Okay, we'll be back.